Pray that your loneliness may spare you to find something to live for, great enough to die for. Hey guys, it's Sai, aka Nkiru the Love Guru, and it has been 24 hours since our last confession. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day today because you already know that I am. I'm back to give you guys a little bit of guidance in self-care, self-love, shadow work, and most importantly, accountability. You know what we do here on this podcast. We confess and take accountability for the areas of our lives that we can improve on. So let's get it right on into it today. So today's confession is, I value my personal space and time. Now, this can be misconstrued as a little bit of an isolation. And I know there is a lot of talk about how isolation is bad. But today I want to talk a little bit about the good that you can find in isolations, because you will have periods of time where you will go into a period of isolation. So it's important for you to always be able to find the positive in every situation. Before we get into that and touch into the word a little bit, let's talk about yesterday's action item. Yesterday's action item was, what is good and bad pressure? Good pressure to me is something that will push you to improve. It is pressure that is put on you that will help you develop or become a greater version of yourself. Bad pressure is something that causes you to stagnate. It causes you to freeze. It causes you not to progress anymore. It causes you to break down. So that's the difference between knowing if you're putting yourself under good or bad pressure. Okay, back to understanding isolation a little bit. Let's open up this word. Turn with me to 2 Corinthians chapter 6. We're going to read verses 17 and 18. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17 and 18. And it reads, "Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty." There comes a time when God is going to separate you from the masses. God is going to put you apart from everyone else, and you have to be ready for that. And when God does it, you may feel alone. You may feel like nobody understands. You may feel like you're all in isolation, all by yourself, but it's for a good reason. God has to separate the wheat from the tares, and he has to put you into a place in which you're going to be able to receive his direction without distraction. So, when that happens, don't be sad about it. It's a necessary thing, and it happens to all of us. All of God's children are separated at one point in time in their life. Turn with me to Luke chapter 5. We're going to read verse 16. Luke 5 and 16. And it reads, "And he withdrew himself into the wilderness and prayed." So this is talking about Jesus and how Jesus had to separate himself and went into the wilderness to pray. So this is another instance in which we are talking about isolation and going into a separate place from everyone else in order to get that connection with God. Turn with me to Mark chapter 1. We're going to read 35. And it reads, "And in the morning, rising up a great while before the day, he went out and departed into a solitary place, and there he prayed." This again is talking about Jesus separating himself from everyone and going to pray. So we have to understand that when we are on a spiritual journey, when we have a desire to connect with a higher power, with our higher power, and be in a spiritual enlightened state, we are going to have to go through a period of isolation where we are called to be separate from everyone else so that we can get the downloads we are supposed to get, so we can be upgraded the way that we're supposed to be upgraded. It's very difficult to do that when we're in the midst of everyone else. So don't be so depressed or so down in your isolation period. Revel in it, enjoy it. Because you are being chosen, you're being called upon, you're being picked for an upgrade. It's all in how you put it in your mind. Well, can't leave without giving you an action item. So here it is. Today's action item. Action item, action item. What joy can you find in isolation? What joy can you find in isolation? What joy can you find in isolation? Well, that's all that I have for you today. So, I love you, and I need you to love on yourself too. And even if you don't feel like you're able to, know that I am sending you all the love, light, peace, and positivity that I possibly can. No matter what, keep pushing and persevering and remain accountable. I love you so much, and until next time, bye.